Hi guys! I wanted to introduce myself a little bit further so that you kind of have a good idea as to my timeline of my life, okay? So first off, there's one really important date in history you're always going to have to know. That is January 31st. And it's that important because it's my birthday. I won't tell you what year because I'm starting to get old and I'm feeling a little self-conscious about it, but that's okay. I was born to a lovely set of parents, and my dad's 6'4" and my mom's 5'7", and somehow I topped right out in between, kind of ish, at 5'10", so I'm a pretty tall person. I love my family. Even when my sister was born, I grew to like her. I love her now. She's actually my very best friend. And I kind of scoot my story along a little bit in terms of my next event up to 8th grade. So I had this really heinous thing happen, and maybe this happened to you as well. But my parents decided that they didn't want me to go to public school anymore after 4th grade, and they snatched me out and put me into a charter school from 5th to 7th grade, and then that didn't go so hot. I could have told them that. And then they put me back into public school in 8th grade, and I have to say it was probably one of the worst experiences of my life. I got there, of course I didn't know anybody, or I kind of had a vague idea of who these people used to be when I was in 4th grade, but hey, puberty hit, so things got a little bit different. And so I was that nerdy girl who read at lunch, and because I didn't have any friends, and I got bullied, and it was awful. But thankfully, on that first day, as I went through all of my classes, there was always someone who was there. One of my lovely teachers would always be calling roll because she didn't know our names yet, right? And it was Alexandra Solomonov, right? And she'd go, "It's Sasha," every single class, right? And then they would get to me and they'd say, "Jessica Torkelson," that was my maiden name, Torkelson. And there used to be this show called The Torkelsons. No, for real, it was an actual show on the Disney Channel. And so all the teachers all day long have been going, "Oh, the Torkelsons. Do you know that there's a show on the Disney Channel called The Torkelsons?" And I was always just like, yes, I know. I understand. I get it. Sorry, I had to move that out of the way. So, it was always very, very difficult for me going through classes, and every single class a teacher would say that. It used to be this really cute show. I liked it. It was a good show, don't get me wrong, but my God, every grocery store person or teacher I had would always say that. So by our last class, I had kind of had it at that point, and I guess so had Sasha, because Sasha said, she said, "It's not Torkelson, it's Terkelson," and she really confused our poor teacher. She was a little old lady. It was cute. And anyways, from then on, I became known as Terkelson, and I had a best friend. Took a little while for us to really become great friends, but it was awesome because my confidence kind of started to be boosted. I used to be so shy. I was so shy that you could seriously start having a conversation with me, and I'd probably look at you like, "Why are you talking to me right now?" I know it's really hard to imagine that I'm shy because right now I'm sharing my life story with you, but I used to be very painfully shy. So thankfully, she followed me over to my high school. I went to North Canyon, go Rattlers, and it was awesome. In high school, I did AP classes and I was in basketball. I know two very, very different things. But so if you're an honors athlete, I definitely understand you, been there. And if you're just an athlete, I understand you as well. It's rough, let me tell you, as you guys know. So I played basketball for lots and lots of years of my life. Moving along, I have the schnauzers. I don't know why I have to put them on there, and that's my sad attempt at drawing schnauzers. So if you ever have to do artwork for me and I get really excited because you draw really well, you'll know why, because that's a schnauzer. We finally got dogs in my house, and we got Molly first. She just passed away. I'm actually kind of sad about it, but she was such a cutie pie. And then Maggie, and then Missy came a lot later. I think she was midlife crisis thing for my parents. I don't get it, but whatever. And we finally got a dog when I was a senior in high school. It was almost like my parents knew that I was going to be going to college and they needed to replace me. So they probably got a better deal with her, let's be honest. Then I got a scholarship, so all my hard work paid off, thank the Lord, because I worked my butt off in high school so that I could get a really good scholarship to ASU. And there I studied secondary education history and loved it. In fact, one of my favorite stories, because you're probably like, "Wow, why did you want to become a history teacher?" I'm sure you're asking yourself that question right now. When I was little, my dad would always say to me, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And so I guess one time, like, I walked up with a picture of me as a teacher, and I said, I either want to be an artist or a teacher. And my dad was like, wow, honey, you should be a teacher. Yeah, I know. He was nice dad, trying to steer me in the correct path. So anyways, I did secondary education history. I actually thought about doing Spanish for a while, but then I realized the reason why I liked Spanish class so much was because we learned about history in Spanish, because I was in AP Spanish, and you don't need to know all that. I know, I'm an oversharer. You will get to know me, I promise. So, I was in my sophomore year at ASU when I was in the history of U.S.-Mexico relations class. I know it sounds exciting, and it actually was. It was a great class. My professor was awesome. And this lovely guy right here, yeah, that's how I drew him, just like walk like an Egyptian with the spiky hair, walked into class. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, he is so tall and cute, and he's Asian. And I know that I was like, wow, he's a tall Asian. You never see that. And oh my gosh, he's coming to sit next to me. And he plopped down right next to me, and he smelled so good. He asked me out for about 8 months. I kept telling him no. Not that I didn't like him, but I kind of got my heart broken. And I was like, well, I kind of just want to be with my friends and have a good time and have fun in college. And I worked hard in high school so I could have fun in college, right? Just kidding. I worked really hard in college too. 4.0, baby. I know, I'm bragging. It's okay. So my confidence actually begins to rise. In fact, I always tell my husband that I don't even think I could have gone on a teaching interview if I hadn't met him. And it sounds really stupid to say that, but like I could barely talk to people sometimes, and he would force me to socialize with other people, and it was a good thing he did. So graduated, like I said, with a 4.0. Sorry. I'm a little bit of an overachiever, perfectionist. So if you ever feel like I'm being a little too type A, you could be like, well, Mrs. Lindemeyer, and I'll be like, I know, I'm sorry. But I did get my first job at Mountain Ridge High School. I loved it, but unfortunately it was a limited position. And I make a joke because I say I moved to the light side of O'Connor because, you know, they think that O'Connor and Ridge have this huge rivalry. But I did go over to O'Connor from there. And there I taught, oh God, I've taught, I don't even know, guys. I'm trying to keep track. Maybe 4 or 5 different history classes. I've taught a lot of history classes in my day, okay, and social studies classes in general. So I was there for 7 years. I got married in 2011 because that lovely Asian asked me to marry him. His name's Adam, by the way. He does have an actual name. And in 2013, I had a beautiful baby boy named Isaac Mack Lindemeyer. And he's so cute. You'll see him sometimes in the course because he's just always there and sometimes wants to film videos with me because he's really adorable. So I had him in 2013. We bought a house. Oh, I don't even have the year on there. When did we? Oh, no, in 2013, right? Yeah, because it was only a couple months after I had my son. Then I had a beautiful little girl named Elizabeth Joy Lindemeyer, and she's born in November of 2015. And she is a sassy pants, and I love her. So I've got this like very serious, studious, like little boy. He's very like, he's got questions about paleontology, like who does that? And then I have this little girl who's like, oh mommy, you look so pretty, a pink on my toes. I mean, she's a girl. So anyways, and then my last little thing I'll add on there, although I should probably add something. I need to add something to the timeline of my life here, but I'll tell you that in a second. My last thing that I have on here is that I got my master's degree. Let me tell you, that was fun. I started my master's program in 2000 and what? 15? 14? I can't remember. 14? It must have been 15. Yep, it was a bit, I don't know, guys. It doesn't matter, does it? Oh, it's because my baby was early. That's why. I'm sorry. I was trying to do math in my head, and as we'll find out, math is not my forte, so that's okay. But anyways, so in 2015, I had just started my master's program, and 2 weeks into it, I'm like, wow, I'm pregnant. So I stuck with it. Thankfully, I've got the most amazing supportive husband you could possibly imagine, but Lord Almighty, I was pregnant and had an infant and a toddler during my master's program, so that was a blast. Anyways, the last thing I should add on here is the fact that I'm now part of the online learning program and its full online team. And I love it because it gives me a little bit more balance in my life. I kind of overworked myself teaching so many AP classes and getting my master's and things like that. And I just felt like I was missing out from being with my kids. So now you really pretty much know all about me. This is my life. This is who I am. I hope that you got a little bit out of it so that you know who I am, and that I'm a real person and I care about you and I want to see you do well in this class. Always contact me with any sort of questions or anything that you have. I love my students. I do this because I love teaching kids. And I hope that we just have a really good semester together. Thank you so much, you guys.